Chapter 11. Love transcends difference. Dusk began to fall in the forest. The hustle and bustle of daytime was replaced by the serenity of the night. The calling of a flock of birds served as the melody of this astronomical event, supported by low-pitched grunts of deer and the barks of foxes. As night set in, rhythmic clicking of bats resonated in the sky, and the high-octave screeching of katydids and crickets provided the music of nature with a finale. This nocturnal symphony would sometimes be disrupted by the rustling of the forest's inhabitants. As the moon loomed high over all, the mystery of its bright and battered surface triggered questions in Mimi's head. How far is the moon? Why is it yellow? Can I get there? She mused as she stood on the top of an oak tree. She had wandered in the forest all day and had lost contact with her companions. "Where's Mimi?" asked Afnu. "I don't know. She was supposed to be here. I told her we would be going to the village tonight to drink water," said Tuta. "We need to find her. We cannot go there without her," replied Afnu. "Mimi! Mimi!" they shouted as the search began. But she was nowhere to be seen. The other koalas made their way to the village. It was dark and the villagers were asleep. This was the first time koalas were walking into a human habitat. They were vigilant and did not know what to expect. They searched for water, but to no avail. Disappointed and exhausted, they left without reward. Soon after, they were joined by Afnu and Tuta, who were not able to find Mimi. The koalas were desperate to find fresh water and decided to search in the forest. Tuta and Afnu also joined them, so they left Rauf behind to wait for Mimi in case she reappeared. Pondering on where Mimi could be, he fell into a deep sleep. When the moon had faded and dawn started to light the forest, Mimi returned to where she had left her companions. She found Rauf asleep on a tree. Mimi looked at him and said, "Rauf, sleep," and let out a snoring sound. Rauf did not react. Mimi then looked in the direction of the village. It was obvious the villagers were still asleep. Mimi headed towards the village. She entered the garden of the house of the old ladies and the boy. When she entered, she heard a weird sound. She looked to the right and saw a big dog chained to a small kennel. The dog was black and had yellow patches on its chest and belly. When he saw Mimi, he started to bark. "Karat, what is it? Why are you barking?" shouted Astutu. Soon after, Mimi saw the three occupants of the house in the garden. Mimi did not run away. She had no sense of danger. Rauf exclaimed, "Look, Grandma!" "It's a koala," said Astutu. "She must be lost." "Maybe she needs food," said the little boy. "I doubt it. They eat leaves and there are plenty in the forest," said Gazar. "Maybe she needs water," said Rauf. "Maybe," responded Astutu. She went inside and brought a bowl of water and put it in front of Mimi. Initially, Mimi hesitated, but then she approached the bowl and slowly started to drink from it. Rauf jumped for joy and clapped his hands. "Yes, I told you she was thirsty," he said. Gazal stroked his head and said, good boy. You have a kind heart. You should always be like this. Always look after animals. They need our protection and care." "Can I give her a hug?" asked Irav. Guzar and Astutu looked at each other and then nodded to Irav. "Go on then," said Astutu. The little boy approached Mimi and opened his arms. Mimi walked towards him and gave him a hug. For a moment, time stood still as the children's innocence filled the world with beauty and love.